Hey guys, this video is going to be about how to grow the forearms and how to grow the wrists and how to grow the hands. Specifically the forearms, but if you're growing the forearms, you want to grow the wrists and hands as well to get that, nice even look. I'm going to go over some stuff that I do and some other stuff that I should probably be doing, but also are beneficial for forearm growth. I'm going to try to incorporate many different strategies and exercises and sports as well, so you can kind of fit it into your routine and what you enjoy. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, I'll start with some gym training that you can do for working out your forearms. Some forearm specific exercises that are good. Plate curls. And the forearm gains for these come mainly from gripping the plate and the fact that you're curling it in kind of like a weird motion. Like when you do bicep curls, it doesn't work the forearms as much, but gripping onto a plate and having to pinch the plate while you curl, that's the part that really works out your forearms. Reverse curls, those are good. So it's just curls, but with a different grip. So instead of having your palm upwards, you'd have your palm downwards. Hammer curls are good. They work the biceps as well, but they still do work the forearms. And then the best ones that I've found are wrist curls and wrist extensions. And what you can do, I forgot where I got this idea from, but this really works the forearms. What you can do is a drop set with wrist curls and wrist extensions. So at the end of your workout, grab some light dumbbells, grow a few of them. So what I usually do is I go pretty light for it, so like 10 kilos and 8 kilos and 6 kilos, and you just do a drop set with them. So let's say you start with wrist curls, and you do a drop set starting with as many reps as you can go for the highest weight, and then straight away go the next weight down and next set weight down, and then you just follow it up with wrist extensions instead. And I do this maybe 2 or 3 times, and it really works the forearms. Like you get a massive pump afterwards. It's sick. Some other exercises that are good for forearms are farmer's walks, especially heavy farmer's walks or long farmer's walks. Heavy dumbbell and barbell rows, those are good. And another tip for working out the forearms, even when you're not doing forearm specific exercises, just squeeze the fuck out of the handles as you're doing the reps. But let's say you're doing bench press, just pretend you're just crushing the barbell. Not only will this actually make your form better, but it'll work the forearms like a lot more during the exercise, and I think it's very good. Towel pull-ups. So what you can do is you can get a towel and attach it to some suspended bar or something, and then you just grip the towel instead of the normal handle, and you do pull-ups that way. Another thing is, if your gym has it, you can train with an axle bar. If you don't know what an axle bar is, it's like a strongman implement. It's a thick bar that doesn't spin on its axis. You can Google it, it'll come up. Otherwise, what you can do is you can get a fat grip. These are fat grips. So you can see that you just pull them apart, and then what you can do is you can attach them to a dumbbell or barbell, and they make it just thicker and harder to grip. It's good for the forearm. Here's another exercise that you can do. So finger push-ups. You just do normal push-ups, but on your fingers instead. And I'd say this one is a good workout for the fingers and wrists and hand. So now I'll go over some non-gym related things that you can do to train your forearms. And this includes other sports as well. So a good one that I've been incorporating a lot of, and I've been finding good results with it, is hanging off a tree or bar. So at the end of my workouts at the gym, I actually do hang off the bar. But also, if you just find a tree near where you live, just hang off it. Just fucking climb that shit and hang off it. It's a lot harder than hanging off a bar as well, because it's a thicker handle and it's more uneven. And you just try to incorporate maybe a total of 5 minutes. You can't do 5 minutes all at once unless you're insanely fit, but just total 5 minutes roughly when you do it, and you'll get a good forearm pump. And some other sports that you could get on with aside from the gym that will train your forearms is bouldering and rock climbing. I've been doing this and fucking hell, it works the forearms like mad. Some of the guys that I see at rock climbing, their forearms are just tanked. Like they literally have Popeye forearms. It's insane. So see if you can find maybe a bouldering gym near you or a rock climbing place, and you can go rock climbing or bouldering. It's good fun as well. Good hobby to get into. Another one is martial arts with a gi or a kimono, depends how you say it. But if you do martial arts and you do gi training, you're doing the takedowns, you're doing the hold submissions and all that, but it's also hard to grip onto the gi. And if you train that way, you train with a gi, then you can get good pinching strength, I found. It's a good way to get some other sort of sport in as well while you're training the forearms. And this is what I mean by a gi, by the way, for those who don't know. And finally, we have arm wrestling training. Have you ever seen an arm wrestler? They have fucking massive arms. It's insane. So if you incorporate any sort of arm wrestling training, then I guarantee you your forearms will get huge. In terms of how often you can train your forearms, I say pretty much all the fucking time. Like, don't train your forearms a lot when you're resting, but at the gym you can train them. Well, I've found that I can train them pretty much every time I go to the gym, and I get the best results when I do. So sometimes I'll actually have full-on bigger forearm workouts where at the end of my session I do wrist curls and wrist extensions, plate curls and whatever. But most of the time, just hanging off the bar at the end of the session and trying to hang off for longer and longer, that works out the forearms really well. And incorporating just the smaller stuff like squeezing the fuck out of the handles, and incorporating lifts like farmers walks, heavy dumbbell and barbell rows that I was talking about earlier, that really can help grow the forearms pretty immensely. Another thing that I didn't mention actually is getting hand grips. Those are pretty good. I haven't tried those before, I've tried those before, but a long time ago, and I don't incorporate them in my routine now, but I feel like I probably should because they're pretty good. It's good for getting the crushing strength, So if you get hand grips, those are good as well. But yeah, don't be afraid of training your forearms a lot. At first, it'll be like slightly uncomfortable, so maybe go into it slowly, start off small and go, more and more as usually you do with gym, progressive overload, But yeah, I find that forearms can be trained quite often. In terms of incorporating forearm workouts into your routine, I would say definitely focus on the big lifts where you have to hold on to a lot of weight, like the ones I mentioned earlier. And every so often, try the different exercises that are specified, like towel pull-ups or finger push-ups. At the end of your workout, definitely try hanging off the bar. Even if you don't do the total 5 minutes at first, let's say you do a total of 3 minutes at first, and then you go up to 5 minutes or maybe 7 even at some point. It's a good way to stretch as well. I found it's a really good stretch. And if you have time, try the other sports. I'd say if you're mostly just focusing on forearm growth and you want to have fun as well, because this is the funnest one that I've done as well, is bouldering, which is similar to rock climbing, So see if you can incorporate some of that. Maybe go with some friends, that makes it more fun. But yeah, thanks guys.